All right. Uh-oh. Wait a second. It's Friday. You know what that means. AEW is live tonight. We have Battle of the Belts for us. 3 championships are on the line. I am the Superman Noah Foster with my color analyst, as always, the Renegade JJ Williams, as the TBS Championship, the AEW All Legend Championship, and the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships are on the line tonight. And the action will get underway shortly. JJ, how are you? It's good to see you.
Man, I am doing good, Noah. How are you doing? Do you still have a voice after 3 hours of Bound for Glory?
I'm still talking, so that has to count for something, so I think so. And what a phenomenal pay-per-view it was, by the way. I couldn't be happier with what I saw.
It sure sounded like it. I was listening to your coverage. I had you on my flat screen here in the living room the entire show.
What can I say? I'm a wrestling fan.
We know, and that's what we love about you, man. Like I tell you over and over and over again, you could seriously be the Joey Styles for the Jeff Meacham Network. You do not need me. You do not need James. You do not need Jeff. And everybody in this house that watched that presentation echoed my sentiments, Noah.
Yeah, sweet. I'm just having fun. Like I said, I just love doing this, and I'm just trying to bring a positive perspective to professional wrestling. So there you go. As I'm looking now at AEW Rampage, you got the AEW Trios Championships on the line, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Nathan, hello again, and thank you, Nathan, for keeping me informed during WWE SmackDown. So, JJ, as we're waiting for Battle of the Belts to start here in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, as we know, yeah, this is the final match. I mean, we got the Lucha Brothers and the Bastard Pack, referee Paul Turner in the ring. Yeah, about to say, Johnny Hungy deserves a singles push, in my opinion. So, first off, I got to say it. JJ, how did you call it? How? Kazarian did. Somebody from AEW has a title once again from Impact Wrestling. What the hell? Where am I living in? Kazarian did it.
At the end of the day, dude, I just picked my buddy.
I figured that.
He's an NWA TNA original, an Impact original. You know, you figure at these Bound for Glory shows, which, as you alluded to, is essentially Impact's version of WrestleMania.
Pretty much.
You always try to go for that sentimental moment, even if he loses it this week on Impact. Yeah. You've got that moment at their WrestleMania. You know, because let's be real, Frankie Kazarian's never going to get a WrestleMania moment. He got his tonight, damn it. He got the X Division Championship at Bound for Glory. You know, freaking 20 years this company has been around now.
And they're still hitting all cylinders, man. My
God, the little engine that could, for real. Like, there were so many people that counted that company out, myself included, many, many, many years ago. Multiple times, even before the Hogan Bischoff administration. And then with that, to be able to survive that nail in the coffin.
Holy hell, yeah, right?
And still be rolling here. Man, that just says everything you need to, whether it's Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Jarrett, whether it's Dixie Carter, the Carter family, Panda Energy, or whoever is running things now, man. Good on them for keeping the ball in motion and not letting it just shrivel up and die a slow, painful death. Because those of us that tuned into those weekly pay-per-views back in the day, man, we invested in Impact the way you and James invested in AEW.
There you go. And again, they've had some dark times. They weathered the storm, and they still ride, I feel, in a brighter light more than ever.
You know, while we've got these few moments here and the trios match is finishing up, let's go ahead and preview a little bit what is to come here tonight and talk a little bit about these matches. You know, tell me a little bit about the Bastard Pack and Trent Beretta, you know, going into this encounter here.
Well, the Bastard Pack, of course, became our inaugural AEW All-Atlantic champion, but now 5 successful defenses underneath his incredible reign, most recently against freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. And
what a match that was.
Yeah, no kidding. And now Trent Beretta looks to avenge a fallen friend and basically look to break Pac's face. So Trent, for the first time in his illustrious tag team-based career, looks to claim singles gold in what I believe is his first ever singles title match. So tonight we will see if the one of the hardest working men off AEW, definitely during the pandemic, can overcome the double champ tonight, as the bastard Pac has successfully defended so far the AEW Trios Championships. And this war with the best friends and Death Triangle, it goes all the way back to AEW Revolution 2020 when Pac and Orange Cassidy made sure in the first place.
And then we've got this. We finally got FTR getting booked on an AEW show again. It only took them calling Tony Khan out to get this to happen. Of course, the $1 million question is, when are they finally going to get a shot at the AEW tag straps? But at least here now tonight, they are going to be defending the Ring of Honor titles.
Well, the way I see it is this: 7-star FTR looks to be 8-star FTR, current IWGP, Ring of Honor, and AAA tag team champions, as the Gates of Agony, part of the Embassy, look to dethrone those champions and claim the titles for truly Ring of Honor and for themselves, because they're all about the money. For me, I think this comes down to the outside influence, whether Brian Cage comes into play or Prince Nana. But I also think about the Briscoes. They still have a mega chip on their shoulder. Will they make their presence be known tonight and remind them that they are Ring of Honor? You guys are just competing on a turf. Bell rings were already underway as we got our first match going as Trent, Beretta, and Pac. Pac is back to back. Are you kidding me?
That just goes to show how conditioned that Pac is. He literally just had the main event match, and there is no time wasted. We're going straight into this as our opening contest of Battle of the Belts, Noah.
Yeah, and this is AEW Battle of the Belts 4. Welcome once again, everybody, to this JJ Cassidy 18 Studios 4 Jeff Meacham Network production. Oh, what a boot across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media. I am the Superman Noah Foster with the Renegade JJ Williams. Oh, what a shot. And we are here to cover AEW Battle of the Belts 4. 3 titles are underway. The AEW All-Atlantic Championship is our opening contest. Hello again to Nathan, Elizabeth, and Sate Seasfoot. What's up? As Trent goes over the top to the floor, wiping out the bastard. Again, you think about a chip on his shoulder. Pac has had a chip on his shoulder ever since leaving the WWE. He never smiles. Trent, on the other hand, though, he's usually a guy that puts the emotion on his sleeve and holds it to his heart. But after what's happened to Orange Cassidy, he's coming in here with extra motivation tonight.
Yeah, and let me just go ahead and get this out here right now as we get into this opening contest. Forgive me, fans watching, if my color commentary on these matches is not that great. This is the first time I've ever tried to do commentary for AEW. It is definitely not my pond. I am but a guppy in these waters. James just did not want to touch this with everything going on, and we will definitely get into all that tomorrow on open mic night.
That's right.
But I could not overlook Battle of the Belts, especially when we knew that we weren't going to be able to do Bound for Glory across all the multiverse of media. So I figured we had to do something, Noah.
Of course. I mean, again, wrestling has no rest, so why should we rest at this point? Meanwhile,
they definitely proved that to us this evening. I mean, you got SmackDown, you've got Rampage, you've got Battle of the Belts, you got Bound for Glory. Holy hell. And then we've got Extreme Rules tomorrow night.
Wrestling!
Damn it!
But I digress.
Buy the t-shirt.
Yes. Well,
Trent Beretta throwing the bastard back into the ring.
Yeah. The thing we got to consider about this, though, Pac is very, very aware right now of that he's dealing with an angry Trent. Meanwhile, Spear! Broke him on the outside. What's up, Paul? Oh, good Lord. Hope everything's okay over there. And look at this! Look at the impact of this spear, JJ.
Yeah, that was insane. Now, see, this is a different path than I'm used to. I'm used to the guy that I saw back in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla as the man that gravity forgot. Like, this pack is jacked and 100 times more brutal than the guy that I first was introduced to back in the Indies 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, and that boot follows up your point as he just dropped Trent on the floor, rocking Trent Beretta. The thing about Pac, it's almost like he has like a never-ending tank anymore. He is more agile, skilled, shredded than ever. And we've seen this guy go to wars with the likes of Kenny Omega, Andrade El Idolo, Cody Rhodes, and of course the best friends, particularly Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, and again, that match with Orange Cassidy was just insane. People I think underrate both Pac and Orange Cassidy, and that match
No
was
doubt.
just fire.
Oof.
As our buddy James would say, it was a banger.
Banger. Yeah, I can still say banger, so I still have voice. And right now, gotta be aware of Bryce Rensburg's count on the outside. What the hell is Trent looking for here on the short range set? Coming to us from Washington, D.C. live, the entertainment as well. Oh, my Lord. I thought Trent was looking for a running shooting star press for the table on Pac. Pac, very aware of that sense of danger.
Yeah.
Oh, but not that hesitation drop kick.
His spidey sense was tingling as he got out of there real quick.
Yeah, it's like that seventh instinct a pro wrestler has. You can attest being in and out of the ring, JJ. But let me ask you this. You don't know much about Trent Beretta besides his connection with Orange Cassidy and the best friends. When you look at Trent, the way that he carries himself in the ring, the dynamics, the emotional mannerisms, and just right now what he's doing. One half, of course, of Roppongi Vice, former IWGP Tag Team Champions. And meanwhile, Pac looking for, got Trent hooked. It is superplex by Pac.
Wasn't Trent Beretta in the WWE for a short while?
He was for a short moment. As we go now to our first restaurant quality picture-in-picture.
I think I vaguely remember some of his time over there, but yeah, not a whole lot.
Yeah, and again, I feel like Trent also has roots going back to PWG. Speaking of PWG, independence, and wrestling, later on tonight, we will see Jade Cargill defend the TBS Championship against Willow Nightingale. And of course, in our main event, it looks like it will be FTR defending the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against the Gates of Agony. As right now, we are on Restaurant Quality Picture-in-Picture. Safety, yeah, that main event was absolutely awesome at Bound for Glory. Talk about emotional warfare, to say the least. And Elizabeth, God bless you. Before watching that, though, it's Tales from the Crypt, by the way. Pac vs. Beretta, going to be something. The thing about the best friends, that is what they are. That's their identity. They are something. You don't necessarily take them seriously, but when that bell rings, it's a whole different game. From Orange Cassidy to Chuck Taylor to Trent Beretta to Danhausen to, of course, the currently injured, get well soon, Chris Statlander. The best friends have been a unique, cohesive unit that always surpasses your expectations when it comes to what they do inside that ring. As Trent right now endures the bastard's punishment.
Yeah, without doubt. And I think a lot of people overlook the Death Triangle here recently too. You know, the entire trios thing was built around the Elite. I feel like the Death Triangle was just kind of an afterthought. And here they've been, putting the division on their backs in the wake of the incident that happened post the All Out media scrum.
Well, the thing is, you either live in the past or you move on and keep going with the future. The show must go on, after all. And AEW has personified that in their 3-year legacy, not only surviving and thriving during a pandemic, but even under controversial means most recently. AEW still keeps going. And that's what you need to do. Ooh, and it looks like Pac right now might be grasping his finger. I'm not sure if he busted a finger or something. Shades of what David Finlay did to Will Ospreay with that shillelagh. Off! Back at Fighting Spirit for the IWGP United States Championship.
Raymond, go ahead. You feel free to DM me and ask me that question that you have, sir.
Yeah, I figured that we're gonna get some Bully Ray Time Dreamer stuff. Have Exploder sent for the ride. That's an effective move right there, building a bit of space between him and the champion. As we know, the championship can only change hands via pinfall disqualification, but we saw what Pac is willing to do to retain this, most recently against Orange Cassidy, literally knocking the man unconscious with the ring hammer. Tornado DDT out of the corner. The cover, 1, 2, no!
Hell of a sell by Pac there. The way he stood up after it and then recollapsed was just hilarious.
Yeah, take a look at the replay here. His body literally just suspended in motion. Like a freaking spring. Just falling over a single step. But somehow Pac's still in this. The flexibility not only goes for Pac when it comes to his offense, it comes to his selling too. It almost makes you wonder if that selling actually cushions some of the impact. Or was it just like pure awareness? And right now, Trent bringing Pac back in the ring. And Pac right now, again, stiff shot to the midsection. Can Trent Beretta win? Oh, his first piece of gold here in AEW. Hard to believe these guys have not been. Oh, man, what a clothesline. Inside
Turned
out.
him inside out. Yeah.
Upside down.
I always love when a wrestler can sell the clothesline that way. Best to do it was Rikishi, though.
Yeah, I
See a man
agree.
of that size, that build get turned inside out was just always astonishing to see.
Whoa, oh!
Ooh.
What a pile driver! Cover! No!
It's like, not to make light, but you almost expect to see some of these smaller guys turn inside out like that. But a guy like Rikishi's build, you wouldn't expect that from.
And again, we've seen heavyweights move like cruiserweights as soon as Wednesday Night Dynamite with the Machine Brian Cage and Wardlow. We didn't see somebody get flipped inside out with a clothesline, but I definitely understand where you're coming from. I did see a bunch of those inside out clotheslines tonight on Bound for Glory, but again, smaller athletes against smaller athletes. And not necessarily small, but not super heavyweight, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And that Cage Wardlow match was phenomenal as well. I was thoroughly impressed.
I still can't believe what I saw out of both of those men. Book the machine more. That's all I gotta say. Build your Ring of Honor roster. Meanwhile, Pac, oh my God! The Brain Buster from the stage through the table to the floor.
Table etiquette 101, Noah. He who sets it up ends up going through it.
And looks like Pac got the worst of it.
I was just going to say, granted, Pac took the majority of it in order to help cushion Beretta's fall there, but the implication is still there. Beretta was the one being put through the table. Man.
I get you there. And meanwhile, the referee checking on both men here, seeing if they can continue. Hopefully nobody got concussed. That could have been some serious injuries. That was a hell of a fall, especially. Oh, my Lord. Look at Pac's back. He is definitely scarred and cut up. Ugh. Again, a victim of your own weapons. And I agree, Safety. And Raymond, I'm trying to get people to come to my new website. If I can get a poster made, can you mention that open mic night, handshake, knitting, crocheting stuff, inexpensive prices? Yeah, we could try and do something like that. We can see. And Daniel, I know this isn't wrestling related. I got from my horror movie collection, the Legacy collection of Dracula and Frankenstein movie collections. Ooh, might have a run for your money, JJ. And meanwhile, Black Arrow into the knees. We'll talk more about those comments here in a moment. Yeah. Oh, man. Great awareness by Trent, though. And meanwhile, Trent trying to build some momentum. Pac, worse for wear. Spear! Oh, eats a knee on impact. Went for the spear. Pac was aware of it this time. Oh, wait a minute. It's like Cradle hooks the leg. 1, 2, no!
Man.
See you tomorrow, Paul. Yeah, definitely.
Bye, Paul.
Thank you, brother. All right, something like that. Stay safe, brother. See you. All right, see you tomorrow. I'll send you the form. And meanwhile, I'm not sure how the hell Pac's still going. Oh, that was a bad landing in the teacups.
Yeah.
And Matt, we are doing very well. And again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and all wrestling fans and viewers galore across the Jet Beach Multiverse Media for watching along this simple, fun, live reaction, commentating, watch along to Battle of the Belts 4 presented by AEW. Both men on the high-risk district top rope. Oh, my God!
Jesus. Threw him halfway across the ring, Noah.
Avalanche reverse exploder overhead the cover 2, no!
And somehow, some way, Pac just keeps kicking out. You got to remember, folks, those of you that just tuned in for Battle of the Belts, Pac has already gone through the main event trios tag team title match at the end of Rampage, and he immediately had to come in and start this match. There was no rest, no chill. That main event ended, and Beretta was on the hunt.
Well, meanwhile, look at the awareness of the champion trapping Trent into the brutalizer. from the crucifix position down on the mat. Will Trent tap out here? I'm not sure how Pac survived that avalanche exploder half and half suplex. But meanwhile, Trent in a world of trouble right now. Needs to turn his body to the ropes and gets there. Those long legs, that long reach that just goes to help you when it comes to your height. And Pac right now can't believe it, JJ.
Yeah, I can't believe it either, Noah.
I feel like fatigue has to be setting in on both champion and challenger. Keep in mind, Pac's back is scarred and cut wide open. And as you said, Pac's pulling double duty, coming off a crazy trios match for the AEW Trios Championship that he successfully defended. Uh-oh. And it looks like we're going back to Old Faithful. In his hand, once again, Trent may not be aware. Watch the ref, though. Will he see it? And meanwhile, Trent hooked. Oh! The hammer to the side of the head. Bryce in position to cover. Pac retains again.
Nice.
Desperate times, desperate measures, desperate moves by the Trent. Oh, wait a minute. And Orange Cassidy having none of it. Again, JJ, Orange Cassidy was originally spiked by that hammer that cost him the AEW Authentic Championship. And for the first time, we are seeing true emotion out of Orange Cassidy. He is pissed.
And understandably so. I mean, that Pac had to cheat to win. I mean, I understand, you know, the great Bobby Heenan, or was it Jesse Ventura, always said, win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. You know, and this is a rivalry that is just not over.
No kidding. We want to talk about rivalries. How about the constant rivalry with Blackpool Combat Club and Jericho Pierce Society? As we got Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Chris Jericho here. What the hell is on their mind? Talking about Daniel Garcia right now. This guy, I swear this guy's promo. I love this guy's promo.
Yeah.
Here's
a little blast for the past for you, Noah. I want to say this was 2007 Pac.
Wow. Man, he was skinny.
Yeah, that's the guy that I knew.
That's crazy.
And then you look at him now.
Yeah, not the same. I say you're cheating. Cheating, Jericho. World champions don't have to cheat to become champions.
Raymond, send it to my Facebook. If you've got me on Facebook, find me, JJ Williams. You should be able to see my profile picture. Find me that way.
Ooh, we got Jericho.
Daniel, kudos to you for scoring those legacy collections. I think I've pretty much got all of those legacy collections except for the Wolfman, which is ironic because the Wolfman is my favorite. But aside from the original Wolfman movie, every other sequel is Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, which is on the Frankenstein collection. You know, House of Frankenstein, which is on that collection. House of Dracula, which is on the Dracula collection. Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, which is on the Frankenstein collection.
Good grief!
So it's like, you know, there's no point in having the legacy collection of the Wolfman for one different movie.
It just sounds like a ton of crazy inconsistency, if you ask me. I'm just like, God.
Well, it's because there were so many monster mashup movies that started with Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
Fair enough.
So it's like, once you got to that point in their history, those movies appear on each person's legacy collection. So House of Dracula also has Frankenstein in it. So it's on both the Frankenstein and the Dracula legacy collection. It's got Wolfman in it. So it's on his legacy collection. Same with the House of Frankenstein. Same with Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. You know, it's just the repetitive nature.
It's like a freaking Infinite 8 at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Raymond, if you don't have Facebook, send it to me on Twitter at ROWJJ Williams.
There you go. That's how you can connect with him, folks. And that being said, I think we caught up with everybody in the chat. And again, Elizabeth comment here. Great match until Pop brings in the hammer. Based on all that, Pop can't beat the best friends by himself. This is going to be one amazing story. Pop learning how to beat one of the best friends alone. Well, technically, he beat him without anybody. He just used a foreign object. So I get what she's saying, though, because it sounds like Pac versus Orange Cassidy 3 is going to come sooner rather than later. And I'm all for it.
Yeah. Matt, Noah addressed you. I am doing well tonight. It's always good to see you come in.
Appreciate
one of
you,
our
Matt.
biggest supporters. So while we're on commercial here, you pretty much called that FTR is probably going to be the main event. So let's talk about Jade and Willow.
So Jade Cargill, yeah, I mean, you can talk about her, Jade. Come on now.
I was going to say this one I am really looking forward to. Like, Jade is my girl. I support that bitch. You know, she calls herself, I'm that bitch. I support that bitch. But that being said, Willow has impressed the hell out of me these last couple of matches she's had on AEW television. Yes. Do I feel like it's her time to end Jade's reign of terror? No. I don't. I feel like 38-0 is a hard place to end it. I feel like you want to get it to something like 40 and then have it be 40-1. Or get to 40 and then do like I've been saying and go for the main women's title, saying that nobody has beaten you for the secondary title. I don't want to be second fiddle anymore. I want to be that bitch.
I just want to hear JR say, I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch. I'm the bitch. I'm that bitch. I just cracked me up. Last time I heard him say that, I just was freaking laughing my ass off. But yeah, Jade Cargill has definitely become the unstoppable force of AEW, trained both in sports entertainment and also, of course, in professional wrestling, being encouraged by the likes of Chris Jericho and guided by the brilliance of Bryan Danielson. As we go inside the arena now to the lovely, bubbly, also unorthodox and powerful Willow Nightingale with a 7-8 record in 2002, coming off in a great trios win with Tony Storm and Athena this past week on Dynamite. But also before, as you alluded to, JJ, what a single showing against my girl, Jamie Hayter, last week Friday on Rampage. Ever since Willow Nightingale's been involved in the AEW banner, she continues to progress and impress, and lately has really picked up some big moments and wins here to build this confidence to go after that bitch again. We will see if she truly is the one in 38-1, or if the storm continues to move forward.
What do you think about Elizabeth's comment here? I'm not familiar with either of these women.
Ooh, Miyu Watanabe and Miyu Yamashita. Those are Joshi Pro wrestlers. That would be a different take on the TBS Championship for sure. I mean, again, Jade welcomes all comers. She needs challengers. And if you're going to look beyond the AEW ecosystem, why not some of the most proficient wrestlers in the world? As Jade Cargill continues to hone her craft and grow, we've seen how physical she can be. She's not quite fully technical yet, but she's getting there. Against Willow Nightingale, though, it's going to come down more to power than anything else. I said it a while back. If someone's going to beat Jade Cargill, they have to be both equally strong, dominant, and over and connect with the fans. Willow has that to a degree. Of course, the original Chris Statlander, get well soon, she was supposed to dethrone her. But right now, Willow, that's not a bad second choice.
Do you think they're just going to keep Jade with the strap until Chris is ready to come back? Much like they held off on the trios tournament until Omega was ready to come back. Granted, that bit them in the ass, but
yeah, but that's a whole different story. I feel like it comes down to what else they can do in the meantime, and also how they showcase it. It's not like you see Jade every week on TV, and maybe that goes to the strength and the prestige or the preservance of the title, or does that weaken the championship, especially when you see it more often on TNT? You tell me. And
you figure back in the day, it was only required that the champion defend their belt once a month. So as long as once every 4 weeks she's coming out there and defending it, then that's all that really needs to be done. I do agree that the TBS championship should be defended on the TBS show and not the TNT show. Yeah. However, you do have to also keep in mind this is Battle of the Belts. this is a special event, and it
Yeah.
should have aired tomorrow night, Saturday, but they were smart enough at least to not go head to head with Extreme Rules.
I feel like Tony Khan had something to say regarding. No, that was Scott Demore. Oh, what a drop kick in the corner! I think Scott Demore had something to say regarding booking shows and pay-per-views on Friday nights as well, because again, it's one of those things where you just have to like do
Nice
the best of
snap
your time.
suplex.
The cover, it gets a 1 count so far on that B. I'm just waiting for JR. If JR says I'm a bitch, I'm just gonna crack out laughing. Shout out to the baddies, by the way, at ringside. Layla
See,
Gray and Jared Hogan.
I have my TV muted, so I won't be able to hear him say it.
Trust me, I will, and then you'll know. Look at that! And meanwhile, lands on her feet and sends Jade to the outside of the ring. That long reach, though. Jade lands on her feet as the baddies check on her. And what's Willow going to do now? Oh, wait a minute. Willow picking up speed off the ropes, looking for the top by Celestina. Oh, wow. I think a boot caught the Layla Gray in the face. The
taking
baddies
out
wiped
the baddies, trying to even the playing field, take it back to a one-on-one situation is Willow Nightingale.
I don't think Jade liked that one bit. Meanwhile, both these two are fighting out on the outside of the ring, and Willow Nightingale goes into Jade, look for that Cazadora. Oh!
Face first into the steel steps.
This TBS Championship match, folks, will continue on in restaurant quality, picture in picture. Don't go anywhere, as Jade once again proclaims she's that bitch.
So let me ask you something, Noah. You called earlier the Mia Yim Mickey James match. Is Mickey James taking this last hurrah, this last rodeo across all kinds of different companies? Is it possible we'll see her challenge maybe a Jade Cargill or a Toni Storm in AEW, or possibly even show up at WrestleMania for one of her last rodeo stops?
Well,
I mean, hell, we never thought we'd see her in the Royal Rumble after the way she was treated, but there she was last year.
She owes Lita a receipt as far as I'm concerned, because Lita was the one that eliminated her. But to answer your question, so far right now, this last rodeo has been dedicated, focused only to Impact Wrestling, where she looks good for the entire Knockouts division and roster, and claim once again the Impact Knockouts World, keyword world, folks, World Championship. And so far, she has 4 so far underneath her banner as this rodeo continues. She beat Rachel Rose, she beat High End, she beat Michelle Shaw, and she just beat Tonight on Bound for Glory. Phenomenal match, by the way, Mia Yim. So there's still plenty left, including but not limited to Chelsea Green, Rosemary, Deonna Purrazzo, Taya Valkyrie, Jessica, Alicia Edwards, Killer Kelly, Masha Slamovics, Tasha Steeles, Savannah Evans, and the current still champion herself, Jordan Grace. And she said if she loses, she's done. If she loses, she's retired. It's win or go home for good. And that all right now is centered around Impact Wrestling.
That's interesting. I'm not trying to take away from the women here, but we are in picture on commercial.
And right now, Jade's controlling the match, so you're good.
Knowing about the Forbidden Door is what made me ask that, because if there was ever an opportunity to have a true final rodeo, it would be someone like this who, let's be real, AEW would jump at the chance to book Mickey James on Full Gear, Revolution if she gets that far.
Without a doubt. You're kidding me? Without a doubt.
I mean, and then WWE, again, I'm sure they would love to be able to make her a part of the Royal Rumble again against either Bianca or Liv, assuming that they're even champions come that point.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's take her over to be determined tomorrow. Just saying, you got.
Or even take her over to Country Redacted for Elimination Chamber next year.
Yeah.
Because we all know how they are about pulling in all the stops for those shows. I mean, hell, Logan Paul is going in a few weeks for Crown Jewel.
And speaking of women, I have an update regarding women's matches. As next week, Wednesday, live on AEW Dynamite, the women will once again be in tag team action as the AEW Women's World Championship. Toni Storm tags with Hikaru Shida against Dr. Baker DMD with Rebel, not Reba, and Jamie Hayter. I'm a hater. Oh, I like this match.
Nice.
That has been added now to next week's AEW Dynamite in Canada, eh? And also, as I learned, John Moxley, congratulations on your contract extension. He will work exclusively with AEW and international partners, including NJPW, and that's for the next 5 years. Meanwhile, we are back, and there's a sign for 39-0 as we look to see if Jade Cargill can drop Willow, but Willow drops with a clothesline.
I was going to say, we come back to the action to watch Jade Cargill doing push-ups in the ring, which,
Well, that's nothing new.
I'm all down for that. But I digress.
The physical specimen, right? That's a physical specimen. Then meanwhile, Willow Nightingale off the ropes, stuck underneath the clothesline. Jade Cargill can't seem to get her. Tilt to whirl. Oh, nice T. Harris. That was a bit messy, though, but took the champion up and over and around. And right now, Willow Nightingale sets up Jay in the corner. Big chop. It looks like the baddies are back up, too. Ooh, Kiera Hogan felt that. And Willow Nightingale, cannonball senton.
But can she capitalize is the question.
It looks like she's going to the high-risk district. Big missile drop kick. Perched up on the second. There's the cover. Hooks the near leg, too. No. Fast follow-up there as you're asked to capitalize. She's staying on the champion. This is why.
Down go the straps of Willow Nightingale.
She might be looking for that driver. Gut wrench. Powerbomb, maybe. Oh, Jade Cargill denies it. This is the same way that she won on Wednesday. Oh, went for that big pump kick. Missed. Willow again using her power. Jade Cargill. Oh, reverses it into a power slam. Again, almost pushes. How's that for a freaking... Uh-oh. JJ, I think Willow just got jaded. Cover. One, two. Willow
3
has fallen.
There we go. Off the glam slam... What did she call it? The jaded, you said?
Yeah, because every time I see it, I'm just like, and she just got jaded. And now your girl, Jade Cargill,
39
is 39-0. Uh-oh, wait a minute.
Excuse me.
Oh, Lord.
Excuse me.
Oh, that voice.
I love Vicky way too much to even try to boo her.
Wait. Whoa. What is this? Nyla Rose with the possession of the belt and running away with it. What the?
Well, possession is 9/10 of the law. And right now she possesses the belt.
Well, what the hell is happening here?
Well, I think we know who the challenger will be for number 40.
No kidding. What's this?
Hell of a match by my girl Jade Cargill.
Looks like Firm right now is trying to cause some controversy, and Matt Hardy confronting Ethan Page. Oh boy.
I do like the fact that Matt has gone back to looking like normal Matt Hardy and not broken Matt.
Contract tampering. Have I ever heard that before?
Broken Matt Hardy looked like a wish mad scientist.
Broke Matt Hardy. That's a nice tablet. Or is that one of those laptops you can fold over the screen? He's not trying to sign to a contract. He's just trying to encourage them, right? That's all it is, right?
Yeah, you know. So Elizabeth says originally Willow was supposed to face Miyu Watanabe back in July before visa issues got in the way. Still waiting for that match to one day happen.
Well, another match that might be happening sooner rather than later is Matt Hardy apparently trying to delete Ethan Page, but we'll see if something comes from that as we're on a commercial break now.
Honestly, didn't even think about Nyla Rose. She's been off the radar for way over a year as far as I'm concerned. The surprise element plays its role. She kind of came into things, what was it, this past week on Dynamite, or was it the week prior?
It was last week, Friday night on AEW Rampage. On a backstage segment where she confronted the champ. Yep.
But you're right. You know, since I started watching AEW back in April, May-ish, I haven't really seen anything of Nyla Rose. I've only really heard of her from other people that watch AEW. So
that's
definitely fair. Somebody that hasn't been on the radar. Daniel also says a friend bought tickets for opening night for Halloween Ends. He's excited to go see it.
Enjoy that.
Me too, Daniel. Whether I go see it in theaters or I watch it on, I think it's Peacock that it's
Yeah,
going to be
something like that.
streaming on the same day. Either or, I'm stoked to see how the saga finally ends. If it ends,
Well, again,
it's going to
keyword
be cool. Regardless, you're going to see the Renegades review of Halloween Ends on Halloween night, October 31st. So much stuff coming in store, but I'm not even worried about all my plugs tonight. I'm going to be like Brian Cage and get all my shit in tomorrow.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, about to say, this is just a fun, special presentation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, I'm enjoying myself, and I've been going since I lost track of time.
I was going to say, well, the pay-per-view started at 5 o'clock, so you may have gone on a little bit before that just to kind of welcome people onto your stream, but
well,
you've at least been going full-tailed commentary-wise since 5 o'clock my time, so that's 8 o'clock your time.
Solo, I went for that stuff too. Solo, I was like, I don't know if I should do this solo. I was like,
yes, you can. I've told you before, dude. Go back and rewatch it. I know a lot of us hate watching ourselves. Go back and rewatch that because you seriously give off Joey Styles vibes. And trust me, I've been watching old November to Remembers because me and Jeff are going to be doing the top 10 November to Remember matches.
I'm glad you said November I'm glad you said November, not the other word month. So continue.
Yeah, no. We're not talking December to Dismember in that hideous elimination chamber. No, but Jeff and I are going to be doing the top 10 elimination chamber.
What?
The top 10 November to Remember matches coming up next month on an episode of Dad. So I've been going back. The 93 one isn't on the network, but I've watched 94, 95 so far. Joey Styles, one-man show, man. Nobody doing commentary with him. It's the good old days. But yeah, having watched those and then sitting here watching you do commentary, definitely Joey Styles vibes, man. Take it as you want. You're humble. You're not going to see it, but go back and watch some of that, and maybe you'll see what me and Jeff and James are always talking about, my friend.
All right, I promise you I'll do that just for the but I promise you I'll do that again. I'm in this for the fun, but I appreciate y'all.
At least fast forward to whatever you thought was the best match of the night tonight.
Oh, good Lord! Every match was freaking awesome to a degree. Everything delivered.
But I'm just saying, a lot of people can't watch themselves. So just if you watch what you feel was the best match of the night, and give it at least that one match to see.
All right.
And here we've got Hook
with an envelope. Passed off by the. Well, screw that. He doesn't care. Well, Hook may not care, but next week, well, it looks like I spoke sooner than I thought, JJ. Next week, AEW All-Out Championship will be defended as Orange Cassidy goes round 2, technically round 3, with the Bastard Pop, with the gold on the line. Jungle Boy Jack Perry, keyword Jungle Boy Jack Perry, takes on Luchasaurus one-on-one. Daddy Ass Billy Gunn takes on Swerve Strickland. We also have women's tag team matches as Tony Storm and Carl Shida go up against Steinberger DMD and Jamie Hayter. And of course, the Ring of Honor World Championship will be on the line in the main event. But let's go ahead and talk about this match first. Tony Storm and Carl Shida together. And again, Shida's got vengeance on the mind. Shida was assaulted by Steinberger DMD on AEW Dark. Uh-oh. Yes, that is the warrior. That is the Bushido. That is the fighting spirit of the former AEW Women's World Champion. And she is ready to break a doctor's jaw. The doctor will see you now by force. And we'll see him next week, Wednesday. And also in the main event, the Ring of Honor World Champion will be on the line as the Ring of Honor World Champion Chris Jericho goes round 3 with American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Now, I know we've talked about this before on open mic night, Noah. Do you feel like it cheapens the AEW titles to constantly put Ring of Honor championships in the main event slot? I mean, you look here, we've got the ROH tag titles in the main event over the TBS and the All Atlantic title. We've got the Ring of Honor World Championship in the main event next week over the All Atlantic title. It's like, granted, I guess you could kind of, in that aspect, one's a world title, one's a mid card title, but like no world titles, singles titles are on the line tonight.
It's one of those.
So I kind of feel like it cheapens the AEW championships by putting the ROH belts in the main events.
I can understand where you're coming from, but I also look at it like this because with AEW, they don't just represent themselves, they represent other forms of wrestling. And technically, right now, AEW are trying to build Ring of Honor. If I've seen anything these last few weeks, it tells me they're trying to get closer and closer to building a foundation for Ring of Honor and maybe reminding people what honor is. It kind of shows me there's more dimensions to AEW, but it also shows me how bloated AEW can feel like too. This will be no exception. And speaking of which, here come the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the living legends, the top guys, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, fight like an 8-year-old girl, coming off successful defense of the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions against Ozzy Omen at Royal Quest 2. I'm, of course, talking about FTR.
Raymond, I have not seen SmackDown yet, so I don't know about Walter tapping out and how many times it takes to tap for a tap out. I've been watching Noah's coverage of Bound for Glory from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock tonight, and then I'm watching AEW Battle of the Belts, doing the live commentary with Noah right now. I haven't seen anything else tonight. I haven't seen Rampage. I haven't seen SmackDown. I've been supporting the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media and all the broadcasts that we have been doing this evening.
Bottom line, Ring of Honor championships need to stay away from being constantly defended. And maybe, again, this might be a short period. It's only been like a month or so. It needs to stay away from overshadowing. I do agree, the AEW World Championship. But I do say this. They already got a program for the AEW World Championship going on and booked already. They got programs that seems being set up for the AEW Tag Team. It'd be one thing if they wasn't acknowledging their main titles equally, but to a degree they are. So to further your inquiry on a balance of championship presentation, I feel like it just comes down to flexibility and what you're trying to put your focus on right now. He's not only trying to build to full gas, you see the sign up in the corner Saturday, November 19th, but he is trying to redefine the Ring of Honor roster. And of course, you have the Gates of Agony. Of course, I'm talking about Toyo Leola and Khan, led by Prince Nana, the Embassy, Ian Riccaboni on commentary, Paul Turner, senior official, Ring of Honor senior official for that matter, Bobby Cruz with a neck brace, Jericho, you jerk. With the introductions, honor is real and honor is trying to be personified or presented through AEW to a degree. I just wonder after next week, particularly, where does Ring of Honor go from here? For me, I'm just waiting for the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view. And hopefully, if it's final battle, it will be the final tease to Ring of Honor being solidified for mainstream television or streaming services too. Khan double tap as we kick things off with Khan and Dax Harwood. The thing about FTR, JJ, they truly have pretty much defined every style of tag team wrestling. And now they're tag team champions for friggin' 3 different promotions.
Yeah, absolutely. And these guys have seriously grown on me. They're a team that I knew nothing about when I first started turning into AEW, and just something about them has resonated and clicked with me to where I'm like, these guys need to be the AEW tag team champions, add even more gold to their mantles at this point in time.
Well, since it seems that AEW has stepped away from the ranking system, and by the way, if you notice, the Butt Boys, Austin and Colton Gunn, are at ringside, dressed up poorly as FTR. They've already put their names in the hat to challenge for tag team championships, particularly the AEW World Tag Team Championships. But FTR also says it's about time to get back to those two. It sounds like we're going to get a sub-program between FTR and the Butt Boys before we finally get FTR versus the Acclaim and see if FTR can go 8-star too. Oh man, big right though.
The Guns taking a page out of their dad's playbook when DX used to spoof the Nation of Domination and the corporation.
Oh, swinging that breaker. Insert name here. So many others. And look at that. Toliola trying to come into play. Meanwhile, Cash and Dax 2-1 assault. It looks like right now Toliona a bit. Oh boy, Toa is mad. Fritz Nana trying to calm down his team. Calm down his money. And meanwhile, Dax hooks up Khan. Oh, good snap suplex. Tag made. And meanwhile, Oh,
Ooh,
assisted leg drop.
beautiful leg drop.
The
Yeah.
cover gets a 1 count.
Barely a 1 count.
Yeah, barely indeed.
It was like
Oh,
realistically, that was more of like a 3/4 count, but the hand did
well,
hit.
I mean, if the hand hits the mat, I guess you technically count that as at least a 1, but I do see what you mean. It's not like we get a slow mo replay.
Yeah, it's like it barely hit.
Oh, wow. That barely did hit. That hit full on impact.
To the 10 of you watching us right now, thank you very much for joining us for the AEW Battle of the Belts 4 coverage here across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media. The Simple Man Noah Foster on play-by-play, myself, the Renegade JJ Williams on color. We are in the main event here as we have our tag team match, the Gates of Agony challenging for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles against FTR.
What I can appreciate about the AEW ecosystem of championships, and I'm just focused on the AEW titles, they strictly have been defending the AEW championships only on the main 3: Battle of the Belts, Dynamite, and Rampage. When it comes to these Ring of Honor titles, we've seen them more defended on the developmental shows. That just goes to show me they're trying to bring more attention to Ring of Honor, not necessarily make it a mainstay part of AEW. I'm just
fair.
again waiting for the day. Where will you stream? They have to be closer to that at this point if they're showcasing more Ring of Honor talent. Dalton Castle and the boys, Totally Noah, Brian Cage, Eli Assum, Gates of Agony. Just saying. Whoa, nice back body drop, a 10 counter. Meanwhile, trying to take Totally Noah down. Uh-oh, I don't think he's getting anything there. Oh, well, look at Dax though. Oh! That's just a bad seat. There's no other way of playing that. That's just a bad seat to take.
Yeah, well, you got to figure with the Warner Discovery deal and everything, you would think a deal on HBO Max would be a lock. Because if my memory serves me correctly, that's where all the DC movies are,
Correct.
and that's Warner owned. So it's like you would think that an HBO Max streaming deal for ROH would be a lock.
And meanwhile, this is a lock with a cover too by the double team. And meanwhile, Khan is unable to put away Cash Wheeler. Again, we're not billionaires. We're not businessmen inside the ecosystem of television, streaming, and production. Where more so streaming is taking the airways versus basic cable satellite. Let's just put it out there. But at this point, how much more time do you need? When do you put pen to paper? What is missing? We're seeing more and more advertisements for Warner Media Partners and HBO Max lately during restaurant quality pictures. Excalibur has literally talked about how stay tuned for this program or that program lately. And meanwhile, Casterman face first, chin first into the barricade. Totally picking up distance. Oh!
Ooh, that did not feel good.
I think he just went head first into the barricade. And meanwhile, Cash Wheeler now trying to get back into this as we go to restaurant quality picture. This is our main event, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Elizabeth, to answer your question better, which version of Phantom of the Opera are you talking about? Are you talking about the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, or are you talking about the original silent film, or even the Claude Rains Universal horror version?
That's out of my realm of freaking understanding.
I figured it was, Noah, but I just wanted to specify because there's two different camps on this. You know, it's like I am a purist. I love the Lon Chaney Sr. silent film version of Phantom of the Opera. I am not a fan of the Andrew Lloyd Webber Music of the Night musical, where it's basically a decent looking dude in a half mask. You know, and then he gets unmasked and he looks like Kane. You know,
That's gotta be Kane!
You're supposed to be under the impression that this dude is burned and scarred and everything. And aside from having two different colored contacts and a bald head, he doesn't really look that bad.
Right.
You know, but if you go back and you look at Chaney's when the mask comes off, dude is hideous. All natural makeup effects, but he looks hideous. You can understand why he wore a mask to cover his face.
Yeah. Not wrong. But again, it's like why you wear a mask. It's like you feel deformed. You feel like you need to hide yourself from the world. I mean, I don't have to watch movies to understand if someone wears a mask, it's for a purpose, not just if you're a luchador in wrestling, okay? I'm just saying.
Exactly.
For Pete's sake.
So Elizabeth, to answer your question, I am not a fan of the Lloyd Webber Phantom of the Opera. I'm sorry.
Oh man, right now getting worked over in the ropes. As they're on the restaurant quality picture in picture, folks. That's why we're right now just staying pretty much, some conversation, acknowledging you in the chat. And to those that are wondering, the Extreme Rules Predictions Forum is now live on my Twitter and shortly will be in the Jeff Bezos Network chat. That being
Yeah,
said, stay
got to
tuned,
make sure
folks,
I get
again.
my
Oh,
predictions in this evening.
stay tuned, folks, again for coverage on that tomorrow night. And there's the tag to Khan right now. Cash Wheeler desperately needs to make a tag to Dax Harwood. The fact that Dax Harwood has continued wrestling the type of style, the type of degree he has, still with that that brace on his right knee, might I add, friggin' incredible. Gotta be a sleeper candidate for Wrestler of the Year, AEW ecosystem wise.
Oh, for sure. Although I think there's no doubt that this year for AEW, it's got to go to Mox. I mean, they
Again,
wouldn't have given him a 5-year
should have
contract
been on
extension.
freaking vacation. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Seriously, he's had 2 world title runs this year, which granted, the first one, if we're going to be really honest, considering what happened, he never should have lost it.
Yeah, agree.
But
There's no argument with that. Agree.
Two world title runs this year, 5-year contract extension, arguably the peak of his game since his Shield debut.
Yeah.
Especially coming out of rehab and everything earlier this year, like he did.
Yep.
Turning his life around.
Got through his demons, and shoot, some people don't even know how to conquer that. AEW Battle of the Belts 4 is back. We have taken our last commercial break, and we are here for you for the rest of this haul. As Khan right now isolates Cash Wheeler in the corner of the Gates of Agony. This is not the Offers of Pain 2.0, by the way. There is no Paul Ellering. And meanwhile, Cash Wheeler finding out again. Big uppercut.
Ooh.
2-on-1. Got Guzo Toliola. Ooh, frozen in the ropes. And again, in the corner, Rampire Town. Oh, my.
Noah, maybe it's just me, but there is something so simplistic about those European uppercuts, but so devastating when the right person executes it.
I feel it comes down to the way that you actually thrust up and launch up your elbow. Oh, what a pop for Dax Harwood. He's in now. How about these jabs and the big right hand by hard-hitting, close-fix Dax Harwood. Oh, but a shoulder block. Very few people can deliver an uppercut that actually means something and really affects your opponent. Oh, my gosh. What a release the moment drop. Cover 2. No.
And Elizabeth, that's a hell of a hot take. I got to co-sign with you. All 3 members of the Shield are perhaps having their best year of their careers here this year.
There's no arguing that. I feel like she is damn sure on point. And right now, Toliola might be taking a page out of Umaga's playbook. He's got the thumb ready for a spike. Whoop. Wait a minute. Catch Wheeler preventing it.
Just enough of a distraction to get Dax freed, though.
Yeah, but Dax is still in the clutches of Toa. And right now up on the second rope. Oof, Toa just fighting everybody off. And Dax, though, might be in position. What's he looking for here? Oh, no. Too
Got
strong.
Caught.
Went for the
Follow-away
crossbody.
slam.
Too much power. Oh, assisted with the drop kick. Cover by Dax. Barely gets a 2 count. Excuse me. Yeah, that was 2. It was 2. Aubrey's not out there, but I can tell it was 2. Only 2. The dangerous hands of Dax Harwood. Explosive power behind them. And meanwhile, Catch Wheeler in the ring now. Meanwhile, tag team action. Totally Noah breaks through. Looking for double. Whoa! That was smart by FTR to duck underneath that. I thought that Toe was going for a double clothesline. And Prince now is like, no. Uh-oh. Does this look familiar, JJ?
It does.
Golf!
Salute to Randy Orton. Double DDT there off of the middle rope.
And meanwhile, Desperation Time made a con. And right now, up on the shoulders with the boot to Dax. But fighting out of his Cash. Standing switches off the ropes. That's the clothesline again. And Cash, trying to get Toe out of the way. But meanwhile, Khan's got Cash up on the shoulders. Oh, gutbuster, lung blow, whatever we want to call it. Here's the cover. 2. No. Whew. I would consider this an upset at the Gates of Agony, even though they are truly Ring of Honor, actually win the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships here.
I think I could agree with that, considering the fact that they basically came out of nowhere this week.
Right?
I mean, I have no idea who these guys are. I have heard of Prince Nana in the past with the embassy, but the Gates of Agony, I have no idea who these guys are, where they came from, and I only barely know of Prince Nana from the very casual following of ROH that I used to do back in the day with DVDs and whatnot.
Yeah, stuffed pile driver though by FTR, very nice on Khan. Meanwhile, Toa breaks up the fall. The thing I could tell you about this is Khan is Ring of Honor experience. He is veteran bound. Toa just recently came on the scene on AEW Dark and impressed in an impromptu tag team match. And next thing I knew, this guy was part of the Embassy, formerly known as Tully Blanchard Enterprises. Oh, and he is a big force to be reckoned with, a big headbutt. Shades of that Samoan background definitely within him that reminds me of the likes of Umaga, Rikishi, Big Rig,
Ooh.
Shadow Machine!
Is that going to be enough, Noah?
He's not legal!
Oh, missed that part.
I try to keep up with it. And meanwhile, standing switches by Khan in the ropes. Meanwhile, Prince Nana is trying to get involved, distract the referee. There is the roll up. There is a 3 count. Prince Nana again on the apron. The Dax right now is like, oh, and may swing on a miss. Oop, trying to double team. Denied. Khan meeting of the minds with Prince Nana. And the backslide. The cover. 1, 2, 3. FTR does it.
Not what I expected for a finish, but definitely earned that victory. It's going to be more to come from these two teams down the road, methinks.
Apparently, Gates of Agony are not done unleashing their brutality tonight on FTR. And meanwhile,
here comes Brian Cage. The Wolverine.
After an incredible match with Wardlow this past Wednesday on AEW Dynamite for the TNT Championship, referee has lost all control here as dishonorable actions and sore losers have taken control of the All Elite zone here at Battle of the Belts 4. This is not the closer I was expecting. Oh, headbutt again to Dax. Again, these 3 men, they are out to prove a point. They are. Wait a minute. Well, if war's going to happen in the ring, why not bring out Mr. Mayhem himself? Here comes Wardlow. The TNT champion, but it's still the numbers game. It's 3-on-1. Brian Cage taking on the world right now. Again, it's hard to fight numbers. You can be the most powerful man on the planet, but enough bodies can wear you down. Gates of Agony, the Embassy, in full force here, including Prince Nana on the apron. Brian Cage. This is ridiculous, JJ. Come on now, all right? They lost fair and square. Even with Jeanette. What? Uh-oh. Bring out Samoa Joe!
Joe's gonna kill you.
Thank you. I'm glad you said, oh, the headbutt. And meanwhile, Brian Cage, a jab, a jab, a jab, a jab, a jab. What Samoa Joe can still do with how long he's been in the business, my God.
Dude, Joe's another one, man. Like, I showed you that picture of
Pac. He's a freak.
Like, I don't have pictures of the blonde-haired Samoa Joe from UPW, but, like, I remember watching him with the little bleach blonde mohawk back on UPW TV fighting the fallen angel Christopher Daniels when he still had hair and wasn't bald.
Right. And look at this foursome of champions standing in the ring. The Embassy right now looking on the outside of the highest class of champions here in AEW. Ring of Honor hybrid to a degree. Someone tells me this is far from over among these 8. And I'm ready for whatever war is ahead. Unleash the machine. Unleash Brian Cage. Let Joe kill all.
Elizabeth saying FTR making a run for Tag Team of the Year in 2022. Curious who can stop FTR. Thought Aussie Open didn't happen. Agree. Well, I'm curious who's going to be the ones to dethrone FTR. I don't see anybody right now. Safed can't wait for tomorrow night, nor can I. We'll get to that in just a moment.
And again, folks, it's been a wild night, an incredible pro wrestling night from Washington, D.C. for Battle of the Belts 4. This concludes this All Elite Wrestling presentation. For JJ Williams, I'm the Seminole Foster. Stay tuned, folks, for tomorrow night and more coverage of all things wrestling. Until then, good night, everybody, as JJ will sign us off. Great way to close out Friday night.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and joining us here this evening. As Noah said, I greatly appreciate it. This impromptu broadcast Make sure you guys do tune in tomorrow for our coverage of Extreme Rules. We'll be joined by James Hebert tomorrow. Hell of a lineup. We've got a Donnybrook match with Imperium versus the Brawling Brutes. We've got a Fight Pit match. Seth freaking Rollins versus Matt Riddle. We've got Bianca Belair defending her women's title in a ladder match against Bayley. We've got an Extreme Rules match with Liv Morgan defending her title against Ronda Rousey. And a hope where my girlfriend hopes that even if she doesn't win, Ronda just decimates Liv.
I expect at least that.
We've got Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross in a strap match, I believe this one is. And then in an I Quit match, Finn Balor of the Judgment Day versus Edge. So much coming tomorrow. A lot of good stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Surprisingly, Noah's looking forward to it.
I am.
Nathan says, see you tomorrow for more professional wrestling.
Damn it! But I digress.
It's midnight on the East Coast. That means it's officially Extreme Rules Day. What a night. Back to figure skating. See y'all later. Again, for the Simple Man Noah Foster, I'm the Renegade JJ Williams. We'll see you for 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 Eastern across the multiverse of media for our coverage of Extreme Rules. Thank you very much, and we'll see you then.
Have a good night, folks.